Do you think declining birth rates in almost every country on Earth is a problem, and what can be done to address it? For example, South Korea currently has the lowest birth rate at 0.8, which means they don't have enough people to fill the army and won't have enough taxpayers. Also, how do you expect to solve this problem with immigration alone when soon the resources of immigration will also have a low birth rate too?
No, it is a real issue. The material conditions dictate the declining birth rate. Industrialized countries tend to have different types of work cultures. We have very low infant mortality, which means that when people have children, they expect those children to live. It's exceptional when a child dies here in the States, where in like a country that's like super underdeveloped, that might not necessarily be the case. Though most of the world is getting on par with this. Eventually, all the world will have a below replacement birth rate, given enough time and enough local development. But that's not good, right? I think one of the big issues right now is that, like, right now, like, having a child is a death sentence for a young professional, you know? I'm fortunate enough that if I wanted to, I could, because live streaming is literally the easiest fucking job in the world. But, like, if you're, like, in your 20s or something, like, you do not have the time or the fucking money to have a kid. Like, you just don't, you know? For the vast majority of people, get like having a kid, it's no longer like an economic sacrifice in the way that it used to be, where like, you know, you can either focus on your career or your family, and like people will be like, all right, maybe I'll just be a worker at the plant, but I'm not going to be a manager, you know, and they're still getting like 70K a year and they have union benefits, you know. But nowadays it's like it can go from, oh, having a kid will keep us in the middle class, to having a kid will literally fucking lock us into poverty for the rest of our lives. Because having a kid is really expensive. There's like studies that show that it can add to the cost of your life by hundreds of thousands over the course of the child's life, like 400, 500,000. Like, what the fuck, you know? Some of that gets picked up by the state, but not all of it, not most of it. It's really, really, really fucked. And I think, like, honestly, the way to approach this is with a pro worker culture. You know, we need unions. We need a 4-day work week. We need lowered hours when that's not possible. We need to make our economy more tolerable to working people, because if we can't do that, you know, we're essentially condemning ourselves. Like the only people who will have children are either the ultra wealthy who can afford it anyway, or the people who are so poor that it wouldn't make a difference anyway. You know, and like fuck, that's really sucks.